No more introductions, we all know it's Gist with TV. Let's delve in. This gist is hot, it is messy, it is loaded, and it's about the man we once thought was Nollywood's rising star, Maurice. Once upon a time, people called him the fine boy of Nollywood, the promising actor, the man who was going to give us new energy and class. But today, what do we see? A man reduced to a handbag, following Pearl around like a shadow, while Sonia Uche, the woman who once shared screen chemistry with him, is out there building empires brick by brick. People say fans are exaggerating when they call him Pearl's handbag, but let me tell you the truth, fans are not lying. If you've seen Maurice lately on TikTok, if you've watched the way he behaves, you will understand why the label, woman rapper, is not just an insult but a reality. The same Maurice who used to carry himself with some dignity now sits on live videos with Pearl, arguing about gifts and money like a confused teenager with no vision. This is the same man that Nollywood once thought could carry big roles, now behaving like a child who needs constant approval from a woman. My people, is that not shameful? Now let's get into the live video that caused this latest uproar. Did Maurice think he was proving love by sitting beside Pearl and bragging about how much he gives her? Because to me, and to many who watched, it looked less like love and more like desperation. Real love does not need a camera. Real men do not need to announce gifts and money on Instagram Live. That display was not romance, it was performance. It was not affection, it was a confession of weakness. Because the moment a man needs the world to clap for him before he feels important, that man has already lost his respect. Instead of looking strong, Maurice ended up looking cheap, and the fans were right to call it disgraceful. And then comes the big question, why now? Why would Maurice suddenly go live and start bragging about gifts and trips with Pearl? My people, it smells of jealousy. The timing is too suspicious. Sonia Uche, on her own lane, is busy building her empire. She is buying land, putting up buildings, making investments that will stand the test of time. She doesn't come online to shout about it. She doesn't post fake love videos to distract people. She lets her work speak for itself. And suddenly, as Sonia's projects start to get recognition, Maurice decides to jump on live with Pearl to act a movie for us. Is that coincidence? Or is that jealousy showing its ugly face? Think about it. Because it looks very much like a man intimidated by a woman's success, trying to cover up his shame with noise. Welcome again, my beautiful people, to Gist with TV, and if you are still watching, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button because the bomb I'm about to drop next will leave you speechless. Now, let's talk about this woman rapper tag that Maurice has been carrying like a cross. Is it fair? Some people will say it is sexist, that a man should be free to support his woman openly. Yes, support is good. Yes, a man should stand by his partner. But let's be honest, there is a thin line between support and submission, and Maurice has crossed it. He no longer looks like a man supporting his woman. He looks like a man controlled by his woman. He no longer moves with his own vision. He bends, he follows, he nods. Every time Pearl talks, Maurice echoes. Every time Pearl bends, Maurice bends with her. That is not partnership. That is slavery disguised as love. That is why the fans are not exaggerating. He has truly reduced himself to a handbag, a prop in Pearl's show. And it is even more painful because this is a man who had real opportunities. Let's not forget, there was a time when Maurice was hot in Nollywood. Producers wanted him, fans loved him, his name was everywhere. That was the time to invest, the time to buy land, to build businesses, to establish something concrete. But what did Maurice do with his prime years? He wasted them on enjoyment. He wasted them on London trips, Paris getaways, and fake luxuries that added no value. His mates in Nollywood are building houses, starting companies, planting seeds for the future. But Maurice is busy chasing Pearl up and down, thinking Instagram lives will keep him relevant. By the time he wakes up at 40, what would he have to show? Empty noise. And this is where the issue of legacy comes in. When history is written, what will people remember about Maurice? Will they talk about his acting? Will they talk about projects he built? Or will they remember him as Pearl's handbag, the man who lost his way, the actor who wasted his prime years on childish displays. Compare him to Sonia, and the difference is embarrassing. Sonia does not need to post love videos to trend. Sonia does not need to brag about money to be respected. Her work is visible, her buildings are standing, her investments are growing. That is why people respect her name. But Maurice, instead of allowing his talent to speak, is busy trying to compete with noise. And let me tell you, noise fades, but legacy speaks forever. Now, some defenders of Maurice will say, at least he loves power, at least he shows it. But is what he's doing really love, or is it performance? Real love is private. Real love is not a circus. When you turn your relationship into a reality show for likes and shares, you kill the value of that love. What Maurice is doing is not love, it is clout chasing. And clout is a drug that wears off quickly. Today, people may laugh and watch, but tomorrow they will forget. What remains is the shame, the mockery, the reputation of a man who acted like a boy. My people, let's ask the hard question, what truly defines a man? Is it loud performance, or silent achievements? Because Maurice thinks being a man means showing off gifts and trips. But real men know better. Real men don't brag about what they give their women. Real men don't jump on live videos to prove loyalty. Real men build, they lead, they invest, they focus. And when people look at their lives, they see evidence of progress. Maurice has forgotten that respect is earned quietly, not shouted for. That is why he has lost so much respect, and that is why fans are shaking their heads in disappointment. Welcome again, my wonderful viewers, to Gist with TV. If you are still tuned in, don't forget to subscribe because we are only halfway through this bombshell gist and the real fire is still coming. Let's move deeper. Because now, the talk of jealousy and competition between Sonia and Paul is not something we can ignore. On one side, you have Sonia, the disciplined actress who minds her business, keeps her private life private, and lets her projects do the talking. On the other side, you have Paul, loud, dramatic, always dragging Maurice into live videos, always turning private affairs into public content. And then in the middle, you have Maurice, confused, acting like a boy toy. Who is the winner in this triangle? It is obvious, Sonia. Because while Pearl and Maurice are busy with noise, Sonia is building wealth, Sonia is planting seeds, Sonia is securing the future. 10 years from now, whose name will still carry weight? The woman with buildings, or the couple with forgotten live videos? The answer is clear. And yet Maurice does not see it. He has been blinded by short-term attention. Instead of challenging himself to rise to Sonia's level, he is busy trying to pull stunts with Paul. Instead of thinking about generational wealth, he is thinking about Instagram views. And that, my people, is the definition of wasted potential. Because he had the platform, he had the recognition, but he threw it away chasing shadows. Now the same fans who once admired him are laughing at him, calling him Paul's handbag, mocking his fall from grace. And let's be honest, the disgrace cuts deeper because it is self-inflicted. Nobody forced Maurice to sit on that live video. Nobody forced him to brag about giving Paul money. Nobody forced him to act like a boy seeking validation. He chose it. He thought it would earn him respect, but it earned him mockery. He thought it would prove love, but it proved weakness. He thought it would show strength, but it showed submission. That is the tragedy of Maurice Sam's story. He is writing his own downfall with his own hands. And now, people are asking the most painful question of all, what exactly is Maurice trying to prove? Does he want to prove he has money? Then why does he not have investments? Does he want to prove he loves Pearl? Then why does it look so staged? Does he want to prove he is still relevant? Then why does every stunt he pulls end in ridicule? The truth is, Maurice has no clear direction. He is moving with Pearl's script, not his own vision. He has lost control of his narrative. He has lost his individuality. And once a man loses that, he has nothing left. So my people, where does this leave us? It leaves us with a man who once had the world at his feet but decided to waste it on noise. It leaves us with a woman, Sonia, who has quietly built a foundation that will outlast trends. It leaves us with Paul, who has Maurice wrapped around her fingers, pulling him into childish drama that stains his name. And it leaves us, the viewers, watching in disbelief as a promising actor turns into a laughingstock. Welcome once again to Gist TV. If you stayed this long, please, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because gist like this is what we serve hot, raw, and unfiltered. Maurice Sam thought he was proving himself, but what he has proven is that without vision, a man becomes a shadow. He thought he was showing us wealth, but he showed us emptiness. He thought he was gaining respect, but he collected disgrace. And now the fans who once admired him look at him with pity. That is the sad end of a man who refused to grow, who traded legacy for likes, and who allowed jealousy to consume him.